Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to have here tonight joining me on this platform of Digital Profit Chat. No other person than Ebere Lisa. Thank you so much. I think it would be nice for you to tell us a brief about yourself, maybe connecting with your story. So how did you get out? What came about you becoming a digital guru? I mean, so I think it would be nice for you to share that story with us. Yeah.
It was a case of, you just surfing the internet. So I wasn't always a digital or social media person. I lived off social media from the starting phase of Facebook. And then I used to retail fashion items, clothes, wares, accessories. And I used to do personal shopping as well. So I realized that I could use social media for my business. And first it was me joining Smart B Camp, now Hairstart Africa. So while I was trying to learn how to use for my business, I joined Hairstart Africa, and I was seeing young people, writing stuff related to, building your self-confidence, branding, social media management. I'm like, oh, wow, I could do something like this. Yeah. So I went from learning for myself to helping other fashion brands, and then starting a fashion community, and taking a job 9 to 5 at Genevieve Magazine to explore media, how it works, how it ties to online stuff. And then after the working with them for 1 year, I went back into offering services to fashion brands, and then finally decided let me expand and touch other businesses, because I'm kind of confining myself to a space. If I stay here, I might not be able to explore the industry. I might not be able to explore the strategies or gain more experience. So I just went into digital that way, and that's how I got here.
What are some of the digital tools that people can use for profitability and productivity? And the second question will be, how come you focused on digital tools, helping people to understand how to use different tools? How come not email marketing, not other things? I know you do all of that, you talk about that, but you are strong in this aspect of digital tools. Is it that you're a tech person, or you're a computer science student or something? Or I think I want to just help us with that gist.
Okay, I think I'll take the first question and then I'll answer the first one. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So so based on the work I do, I find tools every time, right? I find lots of tools, either for content creation, for setting up a landing page. I always have tools. I never run out of tools. I'm always finding tools that I need to do my work. So I stopped creating content and managing and growing my fashion community in early 2019. When I started to come on Instagram late 2019, I started with digital marketing businesses. And then I was focused on, just getting clients, using my Instagram page as a lead generation or a lead magnet, basically. It's something that positions me as an authority and then get clients, and it was working. So I started thinking about, building a community, because I already had one. I knew the value of having a community, and I wanted to continue that. So at one point, I just shared a couple of tools that you can use to do. I think it was tools for creating content, and it was like the most engaging content on the page. I'm like, okay, let's try this again. So I did that again, did it again. Like, okay, so there's so much information on content creation, so much information on video marketing. Not everyone can, get to do it themselves, but everybody's looking for tools to get this thing done. So whether you're a social media manager, you're a digital entrepreneur, you're a business owner, everybody's looking for tools. And there are so many tools, right? And I'm also passionate about tools. Like, I find tools really interesting, especially if you can automate or if it has a template. It just saves you time. So the second one, where you asked me tools for productivity. So the first tool I used, I actually have it on my phone, but I think anybody can get app blocker. I have, let me just open the file I have. So there's app blocker, there's app detox, there's break free. And these are tools that you can use to freeze all the apps that you're not using. I work on my mobile phone a lot. I'm a mobile first person before desktop. Right?
So we are in the same clique. My phone does everything for me. Yeah.
Exactly. If I get to my desktop, it's something that cannot be done on my phone. That's when I come to my desktop. I'm always on my phone doing stuff. So I have this feature on my phone that allows me freeze my Instagram, my WhatsApp, my Telegram channel, YouTube, every app that sends pop-up notifications that would distract me, I freeze it in the early part of the day when my energy is still high. I get to do the most work at that time. So when I'm coming to Instagram later in the day, I'm coming to connect to my community. I'm going to see what's happening, but I'm not going to be distracted within it. So that's the first tool. You can use either break free or app block. They are both iOS and Android apps to freeze your apps. And then Trello is one of my favorite tools because we use it as a team to work on projects. I also use it to track my to-do, even though it's always short because I like to pick things I know that I can really do in a day instead of filling up my to-do list and then I don't finish using them. I said I don't finish executing or getting to use them. Yeah, so I also use this tool when I'm on YouTube, ad blocker. I block ads. So if I'm trying to watch a content in a short time, maybe I'm trying to learn something, I don't want ads coming in and distracting me. I block every ad. So that's another tool I use. And then I use Clockify. Clockify is one of my best tools because it allows me track my time, right? So if I'm spending time for fun or I'm doing something that is paid, I know exactly how much I spend on projects. And I also add how much I charge per hour for that kind of project. So if I've wasted much time on it, or if I spent my time doing nothing, I know exactly what I could have made. It's also a motivation.
For you to be productive.
Yes, you stay productive.
How can people generate lead generation now? How can they automate some of the things they are doing? And how can they generate leads to end up in purchase? I think, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, so I'll use my page as an example. So I create content on digital tools, right? Do it yourself. But I started my page with basically just trying to create authority content. So at the end of the day, it helps me get clients, right? So when I started sharing content on digital tools, my goal at the end of the day was to build a community that is, connected with tools, that knows how to use tools, and find a monetization path for that towards the end. Maybe have courses, have other products that can be sold. But even now, I have people sending me DMs saying, I woke up to a message this morning. Someone said, I just found your page and it's so valuable. What services can you offer my business? And I'm like, okay, that means you don't even have anything particularly in mind, but you believe that I can offer you services to help your business grow without me even saying I offer XYZ services. So I go up to her page, check her brand. She has over 30,000 followers. I have 5,000, right? She has, I have 5,000. But this is not a struggling brand. This is not a starting brand. This is a brand that already has reviews. This is a brand that is in all the ShopRite stores nationwide. That's how big the brand is. And that's what can you do? So I'm looking at all her page. I'm like, wow, you actually came to my page and you're thinking this without me saying the word buy, right? So the first way that you can have sales for your brand is to have great content, quality content. Create content that will attract your customer. Now, this will vary for different brands. There are brands that create sell products, like physical products, and there are some that sell digital products. Whatever kind of products you sell, find a way to make your content a salesman. Let it be so good that it positions. The first thing I think of when I create content is as an authority. When you find me, you know I am highly valuable and you want me in your space. You want to stay around my page.
So if I'm going to get on the internet as a beginner, as an amateur, or I'm already there, and because of what has happened, this pandemic has forced me to take my business online, what are the critical steps a beginner can take to get online, stabilize whatever he or she is doing online, scale up whatever he or she is doing online, and then be profitable in this path? Can you share some of the tips with as many people? A beginner, an amateur, someone who is even there but doesn't master how to go about so many things. How do I start? Where do I start from?
Okay, I think that's a good question because a lot of people are just starting out in this space. Some people have just been forced to come online, So if you're just coming online or you've been here for a while but you didn't really take the platform seriously and now COVID has made you realize the value, the first thing you need to do is, if you started your business offline, I assume that you might have taken time to understand who you were selling to. So you should have had something that we call a customer profile or a customer avatar. that tells you your about your customers, their demographics, their psychographics, their pain points. So with that, you're able to understand the kind of customers you're serving, and then understand the platform that they are on. It's important that you know the platform they are on. There are some customers you would not find on, although people are almost everywhere, right? But there are customers that are most active on certain platforms. There are people who are just Facebook people. There are people who are on Instagram. There are Twitter. There's Twitter, you know, and then TikTok, which is, you know, new, and there's been a whole lot of issues around it. But then there's Reels now, but TikTok is still there. So first off, understanding where your audience is key. Almost everybody is on Instagram, but they don't use it the same way. There's also LinkedIn. So you need to figure out where the people you're offering services spend their time. If there are multiple platforms, you start with the one that they are most active on, and then expand to other platforms as you go. Because if you start with all of them and it's just you, you're bound to get overwhelmed, and you might be so overwhelmed that you stop, right? So pick the best platform, start there, and spread out as you have more team members or extra hands, or as you outsource other parts of your business that you now have time to like focus on social.
In the next 5 years, what will your brand be doing for a lot of people? I know you have a lot of projection, what you're doing now, I know that there's a plan for it. So the next 5 years, where do you see yourself or your brand?
And I would like to say the most digital solutions that we have that I admire, that I love, lots of them, of course, are universal, like the Subly and a few others, but there are still lots of restrictions with doing business in Africa or being an African using it too. I was chatting with my friend a couple of days back, and I was telling her how difficult it is for me to find maybe an Estonian or Belgian developer to work with on a project. First off, I'm labeled Nigerian. You know, I'm labeled a fraud before even trying, right? So we have to scale that barrier first of all before we even get to work together. But what if you have a system where we can trust, we can rely on the system, and people just come work together for their skills and not based on where they come from? So I would like to create opportunities for people using tech.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I can't thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Yeah. Good night.
Hey guys, so I see you on Monday, our webinar. Get in, click the link, and then you have access to get the code for you to have access to the class. Thank you so much, Lisa. God bless you, everybody.